My name's Gemma. I'm going to take you through your mama and baby Pilates session today. This is an introductory 30 minutes to help rehab your core and pelvic floor post-baby. Please make sure you're in a well-ventilated space with plenty of water, and make sure you're in clothing that you're able to move in freely. Babies are more than welcome, and they can interact as you wish, but please be aware if you do lift them in any way during the class, then that is at your own risk. And if we're all ready, let's get started. So let's set the posture up. Let's think about feet together. We're going to turn our toes out and then our heels out, so we're hip width apart. We're going to spread our toes out like we're spreading our hands here into the floor. Imagine we're standing on a sandy beach. We're then going to just close our eyes for a moment and think about a triangle underneath each foot. And we want even weight on all three corners of the triangle under each foot. With the eyes still closed, I then want you to think about the length through the whole body. So we're going to imagine a piece of string out from the tailbone all the way up through the spine and out through the crown of the head. So we're lengthening through the back of the neck, standing light on those feet still, soft knees. And then keeping the eyes closed, just roll those shoulders up, back and down, just a few times, just to try and loosen them off, release any tension. One more, and then melt them down. We may open our eyes. We're going to bring our hands onto our pelvis. So standing here now, we should already feel like we're working a little bit through this core. We're going to imagine the pelvis being a bowl of soup, and we're just going to roll that pelvis very gently forwards and backwards. Imagining that soup, a real thick soup in that bowl, just gently moving forwards and backwards in the bowl. And then becoming a little bit more aware of where our midpoint is. So in between these two extremes, we want to rest in our neutral position. Lengthen through the spine again if we've lost that, shoulders back. And then just bring your awareness with one hand to your rib cage. And as we're standing here, we want to think that we don't want to flare the ribs forwards. We don't want to squash the ribs in, but we want to be in the middle. So we want to be nice and lengthened, and then just gently connect the ribs back to the spine. Have a little play around with that for a moment. Just flare the ribs for me. Over, brace them down. Come back up. And then again. Quite nice just to free those ribs off. And then I want you to just think length, and then just a gentle slide of the jaw in. And already we should feel that core working. So standing here now, relax the arms by our side. This is our neutral posture. So throughout the day with little one at home, just thinking about how you're holding yourself. How you can feel that core already working to hold you lovely and lengthened. And that is probably one of the biggest things to take away, that actually you can rehab that core just from how you're standing. We do a lot of postures with baby, feeding, whether that's bottle or breastfeeding. A lot of changing that's all forwards and rounding. So we really need to re-educate that posture and bring it back. Particularly after carrying baby for so long, some of the muscles at the front are very lengthened, and the pelvic floor. So we need to work at re-educating them to gently draw back into where they were before. Okay, so standing here now, we're going to take our hands onto the side of the rib cage, and I'm going to encourage you to close your eyes again. So I want you just to focus on the breath, breathing in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And I want you just, when you're ready, to take 3 nice big inhales for me, all the way up through the nose. And then sigh the air away out through the mouth. Good. Just observe what's happening with your hands. And then back to nice normal breathing. Now hopefully you felt, you can open your eyes, you felt your rib cage moving like a bucket handle up and out, and then in and down. This is what we're looking for. This inhale, the ribs do this. And the exhale, the ribs move in. Often we're quite stiff through the back, so let's just focus on another 3 deep breaths, breathing into the ribs here, and see if we can improve that breath pattern. So with your eyes closed, when you're ready, breath in, breathe into the hands, then the hands apart, and then exhale, sigh the air away. 2 more. One more. And sigh the air away. Good, nice normal breathing. Relax those arms by your side. open your eyes. So this is a lovely exercise that we call lateral breathing that you can see throughout the day to focus on getting some better expansion through the rib cage. We know that when you do this lovely breath in and you get this expansion through the rib cage, the pelvic floor muscles underneath also lengthen and release. And then on exhale, they naturally lift. This is really important in our rehab, whether it's postnatally or at other times in our life, because often our pelvic floor muscles get very grippy and fearful and they hang on for dear life. And actually we need them to let go to be able to then lift and recruit. So some really lovely lateral breathing exercises throughout the day can really help release the whole system, and then we're ready to restart loading, working the pelvic floor and working the core. So from here, we're going to take the arms up into a big stretch overhead. And then as we exhale, we're going to round and roll, diving the body all the way down to the floor. Going to hang heavy at the bottom, let the arms hang loose. And then as you breathe out, you're going to roll the body up, one vertebrae at a time, reaching the arms up in the air. Give a big stretch. So as we dive down, think about pulling up through the rib cage, pulling in through the abdominals, rounding through the back, heavy, heavy. You should feel a nice stretch through the back of the legs and the lower spine. Now as you breathe out, just have an awareness of the pelvic floor lifting, the lower belly drawing in to support you coming up. And then stretch up high. Let's do one more of these roll downs. Stretching the body, awakening the core. And reach. Lovely. Take your legs a little bit wider for me. So just be aware of the pelvis. If there's any pain on this one, don't take the legs so wide. We're going to just gently sit down into the hips. So my feet are about 10 to 2, and I'm going to push the knees gently out. So I'll maybe feel a bit of a stretch through the inner thigh already. Now with my hands here, just sitting down, making sure I'm nice and neutral through the pelvis. Gently holding that hug of support from the tummy. I'm going to take my right hand onto my hip, and then I'm going to take my left hand up and over. So I'm going to reach up and over into a nice stretch for the side waist. Good. And then return. And we're getting a bit of work in these legs, so we're going to stay down, keep the knees pushing out, hand on the hips, nice and neutral. And then we're going to reach up and over. Good. Nice stretch. Just do it through the side waist here. Feels a little bit compressive here. Try and think about lengthening out. And then return. This time we're going to rise and then lower. So big breath in, stretch through that body. And return. And again, big inhale. Keep breathing when you're here. Normal breath. Make sure you're not sticking your bottom out so you're not like a banana back. And here, and then rise. One more of these. Soften and reach. Good. A little bit longer. Back to center. And repeat. Big inhale. Increase that stretch as you reach over. And then normal breathing. And rise. Roll out the shoulders. Give the legs a little shake. Going to come down gently into that nice wide position. Just gently holding here. Find that neutral. Hands in front. Drop the shoulders. I'm going to go for a nice stretch through the mid back now. Just rotating around behind. And then back to center. So we're really trying to twist the upper back round. Good. So this is called our arm openings. Really good, just stretch through the chest and mobilize all through that mid back. Good. Again, we stay down in our squat, so we're not coming up for a little while. Getting a little bit of work in those legs, getting us a little bit warmer. And then really trying to think about gently bringing out the spine here. So we're going to just do a couple more of these if we're feeling okay. Really nice. Big inhale as you rotate. And then return. Good. And these should all feel comfortable, so don't push it if it feels tight. Just take it nice and gently. One more of these each side. And release. Roll out those shoulders, walk your feet in. And then just drop the shoulders down. Take the head to the side. And then head back to center. Big shoulder roll. Drop the opposite ear to the shoulder. Feel that lovely stretch through the side of the neck and the shoulder. You might apply a little bit of heaviness if you need to. And then back to centre. Same thing but different. We're going to come over to the side. This time keep the heaviness through the opposite side. We're going to nod down and then look up. Good. Just do that a few times. Just to release all the neck and the shoulders. Often we get a lot of tension there, particularly at the minute postnatally. Back to centre. And then over to the opposite side. Shoulder stays down. If you need to use your hand, that's fine. And then nod and then lift. We should feel the stretch all through the side back, side and side front of the neck. Good. And release. Okay, so just step to the end of your mat. We're going to take your feet out quite wide here if it feels comfortable. If not, find a bit of a narrow position that's more comfortable for you. And we're just going to gently come down into a very gentle stretch here. Now this can feel a little bit scary, shall we say, straight away after. So if it feels too much, you can come straight down into child's pose. Otherwise, you can hold the stretch here for a little while to release the back. Really nice stretch just to have a few big deep breaths and just relax the body in. If we're not feeling comfortable there, we're going to come down to a wide knee child's pose and sit back and just relax. Now the hands can either go under the head or we can reach the arms away in front of us. And just enjoy that stretch all through the hips and the lower back. Again, just focusing on the breath going all the way down to the base of the rib cage so that you feel the breath going into the top of the lower back. And we're feeling that lovely inhale and open of the ribs and then exhale, sigh away. So in this position here, we're just going to do a little bit of pelvic floor awareness. So lying here, just letting everything relax and go floppy. We're going to have a big inhale to prepare, widen the ribs. And then on the exhale, we're going to think about the back passage, drawing up and in. And then we're going to inhale, release. You might need a few rest breaths before going again. That's absolutely fine if you need to. Make sure you get a good activation rather than not so good and rushing. So if we're feeling okay, I'm going to take you through a little bit of a faster flow in a moment too. So we're going to go again, breath out, lifting up through the back passage. Imagine drawing a silk handkerchief up, up and up. And then inhale, let the seat bones widen, let the pelvic floor relax. And off we go again. So we're just focusing on the back passage, trying to locate and activate through the posterior pelvic floor. So we're going to keep going here with a lift and then a let go. And really making sure that we are letting go each time, focusing on a full relaxation before we then get that full elevation of that imaginary handkerchief drawing up, up, up and up inside. And then release. Okay, have a breather. Just relax the body. Relax the shoulders and the neck. Often we get quite tight there. And then we're just going to let everything relax. So here you should be feeling your seat bones widening apart. And then the pelvic floor attached to the seat bones, but also attached forwards to the pubic bone and back to the tailbone. So it's like this diamond underneath us. We should feel all 4 points of that diamond gently lengthening and opening away from each other. So this time we're going to think about the middle and the front. So on your exhale, we're going to think about drawing up inside through the vagina. So thinking about drawing a silk handkerchief up through the middle passage. And then thinking about stopping passing urine. And then release. So exhale, we're going to lift and draw up and in through middle and front passage. And then inhale, let go. Let's keep going here for a few more, just trying to find those passages. Please go at your own pace. In the end, we're looking for an exhale to lift. And then inhale to release. But if you need a recovery breath between for now, that's fine. Make sure you fully let go before you go again. Now with this, hopefully we should be aware as we're lifting, the lower belly is softly drawing in away from our underwear line. So we're getting this co-contraction of the deep tummy pulling in as we lift the anterior and middle pelvic floor. If you're not, think about as you exhale, lifting and softly drawing that lower belly in. One last one here. And release. Well done. So we're just going to link them all together now. So when you're ready in a moment, relax those shoulders, relax that body. We're going to go for a breath in, prepare, open the ribs, relax. And then exhale, let's think back passage, middle passage, front passage, draw up and in. And then inhale, let it all go. Widen the seat bones. And then off you go again. So we exhale, we lift the back passage, the middle, and then the front. Giving this up and forward lift. And then inhale, let the pelvic floor go. Keep going at your own pace here. In the end, we're aiming for 10 of these, but it might just be that we're only on a few to start with. It's really important, it's good quality rather than quantity. And as soon as you start to feel like other muscles like your bottom or your tummy or your shoulders are gripping and grabbing on, we're just going to have a relax for a moment and stay in this position and do a few lateral breaths, nice big deep breaths, to see if you can let the body go. So we should be nearly there if we've managed the full 10. Amazing, well done. And then we're just going to relax that body for a moment before we bring ourselves gently up onto our hands and our knees. So in 4-point kneeling, we're just going to release the spine, going for a cat-cow. So we're going to breathe out, tuck the tail, gently drawing up through the pelvic floor, lower belly, round the body. And then we're going to breathe in, let seat bones widen, ripple through the spine, let the chest open. So we're going to keep going here, focusing on the seat bones drawing together as the pelvic floor lifts, lower belly draws in and we round. And then we're going to inhale, widen the seat bones, one vertebra at a time, ripple the movement down the spine, lift the breastbone. Good. So keep going here for another few. Now that we've found those pelvic floor muscles, it should be easier to feel whether they're lengthening or whether we're able to get a little bit of a lift. You should feel that lower tummy working here already, and it should feel like a nice massage for the spine. So let's go to a nice flat back posture now. And then let's imagine we're in the sunshine and we're just going to wag our tail side to side. So imagine a cat or a dog in the sunshine and we've just got the sun on our back and we're trying to reach around towards our tail, lengthening one side and then shortening the other side. Really nice way to release that lower back. Just a couple more. And then we're going to come to a nice flat back posture. So fingers spread, webs face forwards, drop the shoulders down the back, push the ground away. Make sure the ribs are gently tucking back so that we have a nice flat back posture. We're going to let the belly just hang out for a moment, so let everything go. Now when we breathe out, we're going to think about an endurance contraction of the pelvic floor. And we're going to think about what we call a centering action through this deep core that should work with the pelvic floor. So we're going to have a breath in to prepare, and then on your breath out, we're going to think about drawing up through back, middle and front passage. And then see if we can gently draw the lower tummy in away from our underwear. And then we're going to hold. We're going to keep holding, pushing the ground away with our hands, drawing that lower belly in. If you felt through your tummy, you should feel like this light tension, so it's much further than it was, but it's drawing in. And then we let it all go. We let the belly hang out, we let the seat bones widen. We maybe need to do a few shoulder rolls just to release the shoulders and think about setting the shoulders down as we push the ground away. And then off we go again. So we're going to breathe out to lift the back, middle and front passage. And then draw that lower belly in, like you're trying to draw it away from your skinny jeans if you're trying to do the zip up. And then we hold. We're aiming for 10 seconds. It might be that we only hold for 2 or 3, that's fine. Make sure you let it go and have a rest. Do some cat-cows in between. Good work, keep drawing in. If you're not sure, get your hands on the feel. Make sure you can feel that the tummy softly drawing in away, and then we let it all go. So we're going to do one more of these. So if you need to just have a little wiggle, have a little wiggle. You can move that back side to side, and then bring yourself back to a nice flat back posture. So in this position here, when we're ready, shoulders back, round away. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Draw up through back, middle and front. Draw the lower tummy in, softly, softly, softly. Might be able to draw it in that little bit more now, so you feel a little bit more tension. And then we're holding and breathing, so don't hold the breath. Keep breathing, working on the endurance. Good. A little bit longer. And then release, let it go. Well done. Just take a moment to go grab some water if you need a drink. Okay, so we're going to have a lie on our side now. So lying on our side, we might want a cushion underneath our head. Resting the head on the floor, we're going to have the arms out in front, knees bent with feet in line with the body in a nice straight line, so the back, bottom and heels are in line. We're going to take our arms out in front. We're going to go for a big stretch forwards, up over the top, and then we're going to stretch all the way around behind, either with a bent arm or a straight arm if your space allows. Reaching all the way around to your hip, and then forwards again. So we're going to just do 3 of these, similar to our arm opening and standing. We're working on stretching that body, releasing the spine. Really important to manage the pressure well in our tummy, to not overload the pelvic floor. Also really important to correct that posture and open up through the chest and the mid-back. So it should feel like a lovely stretch, particularly back here. So if you want to hold it here for a moment, then do. Before we then come back to our side, make sure we're comfortable. So ideally have a cushion or something under your head, or you can lengthen your bottom arm out here. So in this position here, we're going to put the hand on the pelvis, and we're going to just think about gently moving the pelvis forwards and backwards, like we did in the standing posture at the beginning. And then we're going to find that mid position and hold it there. Now lying here, we can also push the pelvis away and pull the pelvis back towards you. So I push the top side of the pelvis away from me, and then I pull it back up towards me. Now lying here, I want it pushing away just a little bit, so that I have a little hollow underneath my waist, and I can feel gently my core working. So take the fingers onto the hip bones, come in and down a couple of inches, and press quite firmly here. We're going to just let the belly relax and let everything just calm for a moment. And then on the exhale, we're just going to have a go at finding those pelvic floor again. So breathing in to prepare. We're going to breathe out, gently lifting through back, middle and front passage. And then gently drawing in the lower tummy away from our fingers, just gently. So if we could go all the way up to floor 10 with the lift and draw in, we're maybe just going up to like floor 5. Feeling the tension, and then just letting it off a little bit. So we're softly supporting this area, and then we're ready to work our bottom. So holding nice and gently here, heels together. We're going to open into our clam, and then close. Now if we're holding nice and gently through here with that little hollow underneath, we should feel already our bottom working. If we're not, tip the hips forward slightly, and then you should feel all that side bottom working already. Good. So we're moving the leg through an imaginary treacle, lifting it up, little pause, and then slowly lowering the leg back down. And we're working on strengthening through the bottom cheeks here to help stabilize and support the whole body. Good. So ideally on these exercises we'll work into a little bit of fatigue. Good. Keep going. Breathing out to lift. As you add load to the system, we might need a little bit more support through the tummy. Good, and we're just going to go for another couple. Good, not too quick on the way down, lovely. And then hold. And look lift and lift and lift and lift. Hopefully feeling some nice heat generated around the back and side of the hip. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bring that leg down from your bottom and a little bit of a rub. Have a lie back onto your back and then hug your knees into your tummy. So lying here, just release that lower back for a moment. You can grab on and use your arm strength to pull those legs right into your chest. And then just close your eyes, have a few big deep breaths for a moment, let everything release out. Really using that arms, gently increase the stretch and pull the knees towards you. You can always go a little bit wider if that feels more comfortable. Shouldn't pinch in the front of the hip. So we're going to place those feet down for a moment. Relax the ribs down. If you have a pillow, you can place that between the knees. And then we're just going to go for a lovely exhale. Think of that pelvic floor softly lifting, lower tummy drawing in. And we're going to tuck the tail. And as we do that, we're going to peel the pelvis and one vertebra at a time up and away from the floor into our shoulder bridge. Now in this position here at the top, think, am I lifting my bottom? Is my tail underneath me? And am I lengthening my thigh bones this way away from me? Ribs down, and we should feel the work as we hold here in the back of the thigh and the bottom. Just holding for a moment, making sure the tummy is not draining up. We're softly drawing up and in through the pelvic floor and core. And then we're going to just gently roll from the upper back, one level at a time, moving through that imaginary treacle again, all the way back down. Release the spine. And then let's do that one more time. Breathe out, drawing up from underneath. Draw the lower belly in. Push the knees away. Ribs are down. Hold. Lift the hips. Tail under. Shouldn't feel tension in the lower back. Should all be about the bottom. Opening through the front of the hips. Ribs are down. Strengthening the whole body here. And just holding for a moment to feel some heat through the posterior. This time let's take the arms overhead. And then as we come down, we should feel a bigger stretch through the upper back as we roll the body down. Arms come down, hug the knees in, and release. Now we're going to repeat all of the sideline series on the other side. So you're more than welcome to just roll over. Or if that means you can't see me, gently roll onto your side and bring yourself down onto the other side. So lying in a straight line, heels in line with your bottom and back of your head. We're going for arms in front, reaching forwards, and then reaching round into that lovely arm opening stretch. Reaching all the way down to your feet, and then off we go again. So we're trying to gently bring the spine here. Trying to get as much rotation and twisting through that trunk as we can. This side may feel completely different. If you feel really tight, just pause for a moment and enjoy the stretch. Use your breath to help you stretch that a little bit more. Good. And then we've just got one more of these. Really nice exercise to do throughout the day to alleviate any tension in that body. So make sure we're nice and comfortable, pillows or arm underneath your head, whatever works for you. Handle to pelvis, and let's just tip gently forwards and backwards. Again, just becoming a little bit more aware of where we can move and then where our midpoint is, where we're going to hold. We're then going to push the pelvis this way away and then draw the pelvis up towards us. So we can feel our sideways working here. Lengthening to release tension and then gently activating into the tummy muscles around the waistline. So we're going to just gently push the pelvis away, so the little hollow underneath here. And then we're just going to find that pelvic floor and abdominal corset again. So breath in, relax, and then breath out. We're just gently drawing up through back, middle and front. Gently drawing the lower tummy in, about halfway, so we can feel some light tension in and away. And then maybe let it off just a little bit, so we're on that notch 3 out of 10. And then we're nice and stable, ready for the heels to stay together. And then we're going to open and close into our clamshell. So remember, if you can't feel it in the side and back of your bottom, you need to just tip the body ever so slightly forwards. And then we're moving that leg through imaginary treacle, holding before you slowly come back down. Getting a really nice, smooth, even pace to feel those bottom muscles getting stronger already. Breathing out to lift. Maybe draw up and in that little bit more to hold. Breathe in to lower. Good. Do make sure you can feel it in the right place. If you can't, think about drawing the tail under a bit more or tipping forwards. And do make sure you've got this lovely soft tension through the tummy all the time. We never want to see the tummy doming or pushing out, or feel pressure pushing down on the pelvic floor. These are signs that the exercise is too hard and we're not quite managing that pressure in our abdominal cavity as well as we need to. So on any of the exercises as we progress and get harder, make sure that you are keeping a good tension and we're not seeing any doming or feeling any pressure down below. If you are, please regress and make it easier. Good work, well done. So distracting you a bit there, but we should be feeling it. So we're going to hold it and we're going to pulse. Good, little pulses at the top here. Lovely. Just to really work on fatiguing that muscle. Good work, keep going. Relax the shoulders and the neck. Sometimes we start to feel a bit of tension up through here. We want to do the work from down here, not from our shoulders. Good. Last 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Give your bottom a bit of a rub. Release it out. And then we're going to have a lie on our back, hugging our knees into our tummy. Just taking a moment to have a moment of quietness. If you can, your baby's not around. And then just hug those knees in that little bit more. Using your arm strength, coming wide and staying narrow, whatever feels better for your back and hips. We're then going to release the left leg away and use both arms to pull the right leg gently up in towards us. So just gently holding this stretch to release and open up through the hips. Feeling a stretch through the back of the hip here, and then maybe a little bit through the front of the hip on this side. So we're ideally holding it for at least 30 seconds, if not longer. So if you have more time to hold it for longer, a minute or more, fabulous. From here, we're going to grab hold of the ankle and then just gently bring that leg across. So we can feel a stretch through our bottom. An alternate stretch is to come into figure 4 and grab on behind the back of that leg. These stretches are really important if we have a tight pelvic floor or if we're rehabbing a weaker pelvic floor, because they are stretching muscles that directly attach into or near the pelvic floor. So they actually help you to relax your pelvic floor. Once we're relaxed, we're able then to strengthen through full range, which is what we want. Good. So we'll release that leg down. Just have a moment. And then we're going to just take that leg up to the sky, grab behind the back of the knee. This leg can stay bent. And then we're just going to point and flex through the ankle. Just release through the back of the leg. And then stretch that leg away. Pull this leg up into your chest now, opposite side. It comes out to the side a little bit, that's fine. And then we're just going to hold that stretch. Try and be mindful that both waistlines stay even length. Try not to hitch through one waist as you do this. And then again, just closing the eyes, having a moment of stillness and calm. Relaxing the face, the neck, the jaw. Maybe having a little wiggle through the face. Squeeze and contract the face, and then maybe think about relaxing. So you scrunch your nose, can you then release it? You wrinkle your forehead, can you then release that tension? Grabbing onto the outside of the ankle, gently bringing that leg up and across, stretching to the bottom, or bringing it to rest on the opposite legs that we come into our figure 4. And then again, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed, gently breathing. So don't pull the stretch on too far, take it gently. Body should feel able to relax, and then we're able to gently increase the stretch. The body feels under threat, then you're not going to win. The body will tighten up. So just take this nice and gently. Good. Gently placing the leg down. Bringing this leg then up to the sky, grabbing behind the back of the thigh, and then gently point and flex through the ankle. Make sure we're not holding our breath, and try and keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. Bringing both feet together, letting the knees open, so we get a nice inner thigh release. Gently you can put your hands to apply a little bit of pressure. And then we're just going to have 3 really nice big deep breaths here. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the mouth, sigh the air away. And again. One more. Bringing the arms out to your side, gently bringing the knees together, feet stacked. And then we're just gently going to have a little rock and a roll side to side in our hip twist level 2. Gently looking in the opposite direction if that feels comfortable. Just releasing any tension in that lower back and middle back. Couple more times before we then gently roll onto our side and bring ourselves up into sitting. So gently bringing yourselves up, so we're sitting with either legs in front or legs crossed. And just having a moment to relax those shoulders, lengthen through the spine, and think about pulling those ribs back. So we've got that lovely posture in sitting, just the same as we did in standing at the beginning. So today's takeaway points from our session really are to think about our body as a whole. Our posture throughout the day makes such a difference and really helps you rehab that pelvic floor and core. So you can really think about how you're holding yourself. You should always feel relaxed and supple, never braced. The other thing to go away and take away from today are the pelvic floor activation and awareness, and then exercises. And depending what you've been told by your women's health physiotherapist, in the end we're looking at the strength work, we're looking at strength kind of fast exercises and the endurance exercises. And you can see how we integrated those fast contractions. We did 10 of them was our aim in parts of the session, and then we worked on more the endurance and the holds for 10 seconds, which in the end we aim for 10. But it's all about wherever you are, stick with your baseline, and there are goals going forwards that we work towards them gently. And then just thinking about how important the breath, all the different pelvic stretches that we did are to help you release the pelvic floor. Let all 4 points of that diamond open and release. And even after delivery of baby, whether it's C-section or vaginally, those muscles will feel different. And it's okay to let them relax, because then we're going to get a better lift and support after. So I hope you found it really enjoyable, and good luck on your Pilates journey. See you again soon.